Right, hello everyone and welcome to the preview for Wigan Athletic versus Hull City at the DW Stadium in League One on Wednesday the 17th of February, 5:30 kickoff. The match details are on screen, you can see it is I follow for this game, 5:30pm UK time, DW Stadium, League One, I follow Tigers for £10. However, Sky Sports Scores app does say that this game is available on Sky Sports Football on what I presume will be the red button. But, I don't know. Anyway, moving on to team news then. Alfie Jones should be available for selection as the Tigers travel to the DW Stadium. Both Alfie and Callum Jones are close to returning to full fitness after hamstring injuries. Gavin White, ankle, and Tom Eaves, calf, around 1 to 2 weeks away from a return. Richie Smallwood, knee. Brandon Fleming, groin, and Festus Arter, thigh, remain out. Injured onto ref watch then. The referee is James Oldham. The two liners are Mark Cunliffe and Christopher Ward. The fourth official is Ross Joyce. Onto stats, and these are taken from our last game against MK Dons. Hull City had 14 shots against MK Dons. Of those 14, 2 were on target. This now means that in the last 3 games, we have had 36 shots and 2 on target. Great. We had 60% of possession, committed 16 fouls, made 24 tackles, won 44% of aerial duels in the game, and City made 378 passes in the game with a pass accuracy of 74%. What do I think then? I'm really not confident. I'm really not. A team in a relegation battle, us playing them is just the perfect chance for us to it up. It just is. We need a striker to score goals and a CDM, but we can't bring anyone in. And why wasn't Clark on the bench against MK? And why didn't Grant make any changes after he brought Chadwick on? Does make you think, doesn't it? Anyway, head-to-head battles. Josh McGuinness will have to get past Curtis Tilt, and Callum Elder will have to stop Viv Solomon Otterbaugh. I've put Viv S. Otterbaugh on there because Viv Solomon Otterbaugh does not fit in that gap. Onto current form now then. We are looking shaky. And so are we, going to be fair. They're in the relegation zone at the minute, and we'll have a look at that in a second. But for us, in our last 5, we have beaten Swindon 1-0. Then drew with Lincoln but lost on penalties in the Papa John's Trophy. Lost 1-0 to Burton. Drew 0-0 with Lincoln in the league. And then lost 1-0 to MK Dons. Wigan lost 5-0 to Blackpool. 1-0 to Swindon. Lost 3-2 to AFC Wimbledon, then beat Northampton 1-0, and then most recently lost 2-1 to Oxford United. Not current form, the league table now then, sorry. We are still second. Somehow, Peterborough and Portsmouth didn't play at the weekend because their games were called off for frozen pitch. But I'm certain that if both of those teams played, we would be down in 4th now. Lincoln only got a draw against Accrington Stanley on Sunday. I mean, Sunderland tried to help us. They beat Doncaster, but we couldn't finish our own dinner. We couldn't finish our own dinner. That's the word I'm looking for. Sorry. Anyway, Wigan down in 22nd. It's so tight down the bottom. There's now 4 points separating bottom and 18th. Then there's a 7-point gap between 18th and 17th, and then there's an 11-point gap between 17th and 6th. So it's all up for grabs, up and down the league. You can't write anyone out of anything at this moment in time, because even if Rochdale or AFC Wimbledon, maybe any of the teams in relegation zone, if they hit a bit of form, go unbeaten for a little bit, they're climbing. They're getting themselves right in the battle for playoffs. It's crazy tight. The league is so unpredictable. And I did a video with Caden, Cape United, Peterborough fan the other day, link in the description, about predicting the league top 6. And it's already changed, purely because of Hull City lost to MK Dons. Anyway, on to around the grounds then for these League 1 games in hand, where the games in orange on your screen on Tuesday, and the games in green are on Wednesday. So the games today, as this preview goes out, are Gillingham versus Peterborough, Bristol Rovers versus Portsmouth, Blackpool versus Rochdale, and Ipswich versus AFC Wimbledon. And the only other game alongside ours tomorrow on Wednesday, as this goes out, Doncaster Rovers will face Accrington Stanley. Memorable match. You all know what this would be, but the last time we played them was that game. So we're going to go to the 10th of April 2019 at the KCOM Stadium in the Championship when we beat Wigan 2-1. And I cracked out the classic line when Kamil Grzycki whipped in that corner for Jordi Device to head home past Christian Walton with the phrase, "Yes, yes, yes." I said he'd score. I said it to Steve up there. Jordi Device, I love you. That's what I said. And, you know, Device did the Firmino celebration, letting him through, everything like that. Fraser Campbell was our other goal scorer that day, and Wigan took the lead through former Hull City man Nick Powell. We'll get onto a former Hull City man in a few seconds' time. But as I said earlier, you all knew that this would have been the memorable match if it wasn't the last time we played each other. Last time out, Wigan Athletic 8, Hull City 0. Cal Naismith, Kiefer Moore, Kieran Dowell, Jamal Lowe, Kiefer Moore, Kieran Dowell, Joe Williams, Kieran Dowell. Yeah, I know. I think it's Joe Williams. It is Joe Williams, isn't it? Let me check. Yeah, it is Joe Williams. Thank God. Made me career, but didn't make me day. Fuming. Absolutely fuming. And I've had to change the graphic about so I can fit more substitutes on. On to shared shirts now then. We're looking at David Marshall today. A guy who was involved in that game, kept a clean sheet against his old club. He signed for us in 2016 on, I believe it was deadline day. Mike Phelan brought him in from Cardiff. And in 67 appearances for the Tigers, obviously he didn't score. He's a goalkeeper for crying out loud. And for Wigan, he joined them when he left us in 2019, the summer of 2019. And he left them in the summer of 2020 as they went into administration and Wigan went down with us. In 38 games for Wigan, he didn't score because he's a goalkeeper. You know how this works. On to my predicted 11 now then in Grant McCann's. You know how it is. So, in goal, we've got Matt Ingram. At right back, we have the captain, Louis Coyle. The pair of centre halves are Rhys Burke and Jacob Greaves. At left back, we've got Callum Elder. In defensive midfield, we've got Alfie Jones. I know it's a big statement, but we need that midfield anchor in there to maybe bring our form up a little bit so we're not compromised in the middle. And he is partnered in central midfield, slightly further forward than him, by George Honeyman and Greg Docherty. On the right is Malik Wilkes. On the left is Keane Lewis Potter, who needs a goal. He needs a goal. And Josh McGuinness starts at striker. On to the bench then, on the substitutes bench. We've got George Long, James Scott, Josh Emanuel, Regan Slater, Dan Crowley, Max Clark, and Billy Chadwick. That's the team in picture form then. That's the team on the pitch. Moving on now then to my wanted 11. We've got Paul Cook there, ex-Wigan manager, the manager that beat us 8-0. So for my team then, in the 4-1-2-1-2 formation, you know how this is going. In goal, we've got Matt Ingram. At right back, we've got Josh Emanuel. The pair of centre-backs are Alfie Jones and Jacob Greaves, with at left back being... Well, the person at left back is Callum Elder. In defensive midfield, we've got Max Clark. The two centre mids are George Honeyman and Greg Docherty. In attacking midfield, we've got Dan Crowley, and Malik Wilkes and Keane Lewis Potter are the two strikers. On the bench then, we've got George Long, Louis Coyle, Rhys Burke, James Scott, Jordan Flores, Regan Slater, and Josh McGuinness. That's the team in picture form then. This is my wanted 11 on the pitch in the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow variant. On to my predicted score now then. Do I reckon that we will Take victory. No. 0-0. And I'm going to leave it there. You know exactly why I've gone for 0-0. So, thank you very much for watching, everyone. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video, share it about with your friends, because if we lose 8-0 again, I'm pretty sure that my video will get sent about, because it's happened again. And I can do what Anfield Agenda did at the weekend. Lay back in my chair and go, we've f***ed up again. Hull City have f***ed up again. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Make sure you check out the 2 videos on your screen. I'll see you later, everyone. Goodbye.